If you want to be a successful wedding planner, there are 5 skills that you must have. They're non-negotiables. They're part of the job description. And I would say if you don't have these skills, you're probably not going to make it in business. If you're new around here, hey, I'm Candace Coppola. I'm your business BFF. I happen to know a thing or two about building and growing a successful wedding planning business because I did it. I was a wedding planner for over 12 years, and in 2019, I sold my business so I could help wedding planners like you grow your business. And there have been many a wedding planner that I've mentored over the years, many hundreds of wedding planners that I've mentored. And I will say that those who succeed have these specific skills, and they're able to do these specific things as it relates to being a wedding planner. They show up to the party with these skills. And I'm sharing these skills with you today partly to encourage you because I believe that you probably possess these skills, which is what's gonna make you a fabulous planner. But also just for you to be aware that in order for you to be successful, these are things that you're gonna wanna pay attention to and try to get great at. You can't just be good at these things, you have to get great at them. And this is what's gonna separate you from your competition. Because truly, anybody can be a wedding planner. I mean, literally, all it takes is a website, a business card, an Instagram account. That's all it takes. But what makes a good wedding planner or an okay wedding planner and a great wedding planner? It's these 5 must-have skills. So let's talk. What's the first skill that a great wedding planner has? It's kind of obvious. Organization and time management. If you can't organize yourself, and if you can't keep time, girl, this is not the career for you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not. You have to be able to organize people, organize things, organize thoughts, organize chaos, and you need to be able to do it yesterday. That's the thing about being a wedding planner. It's not enough to do it on time. You actually need to do it before it's time. You need to have a really good time management skills. It is why you're being hired, to make sure that timing wise, a wedding goes according to plan, to how you organized it. So you need to make sure that your organization skills and your time management skills are perfect, like chef's kiss, perfect. Now, what you may find is that successful wedding planners have a very well-managed wedding planning situation. They are organized for their clients, they time management, they have that all in lock, but their personal life, shambles. Literal shambles. That's okay. I mean, we would like for both to be very organized and everybody to be happy, but it's not uncommon for a wedding planner's house to be a mess during wedding season and for their life to be in literal shambles. Because you're so focused on managing everything for your clients, there's sometimes not enough to focus on yourself. Maybe we need to change that, but it is what it is. I share that though because I think sometimes we can look at our own lives and be like, well, if I don't have it together, how can I get it together for a couple or for a business? And I'll tell you, I don't have it all together. There are days where my house is a mess. There are days where I forget to do things. There are days where believe it or not, I'm late. I mean, it kills me inside. Literally, it hurts me. I start getting sweats. I start panicking. But there are times where, I don't have it all together in my personal life, but when it comes to business and clients, I know what to do. So I share that because you can always get better, and sometimes you might find that you're really good at certain things in work and maybe not so great at them at all. The next skill that you must have, you have got to have this skill if you want to be successful as a wedding planner, is you need to know how to communicate and you need to have good interpersonal skills. Wedding planning is all just exterior, it is dealing with people, it is being extroverted, and it's understanding how to communicate. And I don't mean like the words that come out of your mouth or writing a good email. I mean being able to assess someone and understand what they need to hear in order to do what needs to be done. That is a skill. The other day somebody complimented me on that skill. They're like, you know how to do that. And I'm like, you're damn right I do. You're damn right. I didn't always know how to do it, but I learned how to do it. So communication is about communicating clearly, being concise. You need to be able to communicate to your client, to other vendors, to guests. You need to be able to have that confidence in communication. So you're going to have to stand in front of people and tell them where to go and what to do. If you feel like, ugh, I don't know if I can do that, yes, you can, and you can get better at it at every turn. I used to be terrified of public speaking. In fact, when the teacher would call on me in class, like my face would turn red. I was terrified of it. Now look at me, I'm freaking here talking to you. Like that's progress, right? If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. So you need to be able to communicate. You need to have good interpersonal skills though. You need to understand how to communicate to different types of people. You need to be able to go up to dad, who is like the CEO of this $1 billion Forbes 500 company, and you need to be able to have a straight shooting conversation with him. And then you need to be able to go to another person, maybe, I don't know, a bridesmaid, and be able to have a conversation, a straight shooting conversation with her. They're two very different people, and they're two very different communication styles. And that's where that interpersonal skill set comes in. You need to be able to talk to a wide variety of people, all walks of life, from all over the dang place, and motivate and inspire and encourage and get them to do what you want them to do. That's what a good communicator does. Let me know if I should make a course on how to do this. I wonder how to teach this. I feel like it's something that you just get good at over time, but let me just encourage you that if you feel like, yikes, that sounds scary, I'm not sure I can do that. Yes, you can. You can certainly learn how to do it. You can certainly learn how to be a better communicator and how to communicate effectively to different types of people, getting them to do what you want them to do. This is a must-have. If you cannot do this, wedding planning is not going to be for you, genuinely. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news if this is your dream. I don't want to crush dreams. I'm not a dream crusher. I'm an inspirer, but I have to say, if you cannot make this happen, it's not gonna work out for you. People are gonna take advantage of you, you're gonna disappoint people unintentionally because of poor communication, and it's just gonna be a struggle, and you're gonna hate the job. The next skill that you have to have, non-negotiable, you must have if you wanna be successful, is you need to have creativity and understand design. Sure, you don't need to be a designer. By no stretch of the imagination do you need to be a wedding designer, but you need to be a creative person who understands what looks good and what looks like shit. You need to be able to differentiate good from not so good. And if you can't do that, you're gonna struggle. Well, clients are gonna struggle with you because they're gonna turn to you and ask you to weigh in on things, and you need to be able to have an eye for stuff. I think creativity, it's not just about making things look pretty. You need to be creative in business. You need to be creative with how you communicate. You need to be creative with how you work with others. You need to be creative in the assets you make for your business, the marketing strategies you have. Creativity isn't just the pretty. It is all the other strategies and things that go on behind the scenes and with clients that you need to be able to create and to be able to understand how they work, or at the very least learn how they work. So creativity and design, I think, is a skill set that you must have. But let me just repeat, you don't need to be a designer. There are a lot of successful wedding planners who focus on logistics and making sure that is right and good and fantastic, and they leave the design to a designer. But those planners, they're still creative. They still have creativity, and they still implement creativity in their day-to-day tasks with clients. The next must-have skill, if you want to be successful as a wedding planner, is you need to be able to understand numbers and finances. Financial management is one of the most important skills any business owner will have. And if you don't like numbers, if you're not a numbers person, if you don't understand profit and loss, if you don't understand cash flow, open up a book. You're right here on YouTube, so you can YouTube it, Google it, hire a business coach, get better at it. If you don't pay attention to finances, you are gonna find yourself in a hole. And I don't mean a pretty hole, if ever one existed. It's like you're gonna find yourself in a financial hole that is not fun. You're gonna find yourself in a lot of debt, having made very poor choices, and even end up with a business that actually can't sustain itself. And I don't want that for you. So if you're not a numbers person, know that you can actually change that mindset and that mentality. And in a few short weeks, in a few short months, you can actually call yourself a numbers person, and it pays to know the numbers. Because as a wedding planner, you also need to be able to financially manage other other people's events. So the financial management isn't just your business, but it's also being able to manage someone else's money. You need to be able to help your clients come up with budgets that are realistic. You need to be able to work within those budgets. You need to be able to figure out how to be creative with the budgets you've been given. And you need to be able to advise your client on the financial decisions that they're making. So long story short, you gotta get out your calculator, girl. You gotta get good with numbers, and I believe in you, and I believe you can get good with numbers. Long ago, I was very poor with numbers, and long ago, I made very bad decisions. And I can confidently sit here and look you in the eyes and tell you that I am a numbers person, that I understand finances, and I understand budgets, and I understand profit and loss and cash flow and all these things that make people go, ugh. I get it, and I know what it takes to be financially healthy in your business. You can say that with just a little bit of education behind you. The fifth must-have skill that every wedding planner needs in order to be successful is problem solving and flexibility. You need to be a natural born problem solver. Even better if you're the friend people call when they're like, what the f do I do? They're like, let me call Candace, because I know this can figure out anything. And they would be right. You need to understand how to solve problems because wedding planning is problem solving. Weddings are problems. Problems and weddings, they're in lockstep. Every day you're planning and there's a problem. You're planning and there's a problem. And you are the person who's supposed to be solving all of these problems. That's why the client hires you. You need to be good at problem solving. And one thing that I think makes someone good at problem solving is flexibility, which is why I said problem solving and flexibility. As a wedding planner, if you're too regimented and you don't allow some flexibility, you're gonna be overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed, mean, angry, tired, and like nobody wants that wedding planner. Nobody. You need to have flexibility and to realize that not everything is gonna go according to plan because hello, problems. But you have the problem solving capabilities and the flexibility to make adjustments where necessary. It's a pivot and shift. And I don't mean to like bring in a Friends reference with pivot. Pivot? But no, you need to be able to pivot. Like when shit hits the fan, you need to be like, I'm gonna figure it out and have that flexibility instead of feeling trapped to your timeline or to a rule book or to something that you think needs to happen a certain way. You need that flexibility. Without it, you're dead in the water, and I don't want that for you. This is also a skill that can be learned. So if you feel like, I'm uptight, I'm not flexible, and I'm not sure I'm a good problem solver, you can learn this. And you learn it through experience, through being challenged, through actually going through problems and learning to be flexible and solving them and getting that confidence to solve the next set of problems that come your way. I feel like these are skills that you sharpen over real world experience over time. But I will tell you, it's really nice to have a community of planners that you can rely on, like the Planners Playbook, my community for planners, where you can come with your problems and ask for people's opinions so that you can solve those problems and understand like how to be flexible. Being able to talk about business and not do business alone will help you to sharpen all of these skills. So whether you come and join us in the Planners Playbook or there's another community out there for you, I really encourage you to surround yourself with other wedding planners who can teach you how to avert crisis or handle pressure and be graceful and have that grace under pressure that every wedding planner needs. So let's summarize. These are the 5 must-have skills that you need to have if you want to be successful as a wedding planner. Number 1, organization and time management. If you are not organized and your time management sucks when it comes to work, you need to get that together. Personal life can be a dumpster fire, but wedding planning, you need to be on the ball. Number 2, communication and interpersonal skills. You need to know how to be extroverted. It's all right if you're an introvert, you just need to know how to extrovert, and you need to know how to communicate. And communication isn't just simply speaking to someone, it's how you speak and what you say and how you assess a person and what they need, and then how you communicate. It's a dance. And can you tell I love it? I kind of love that. I love assessing a room and then like understanding how things work. Next, creativity and design. You don't need to be a designer, but you need to be creative because planning a wedding invites creativity. Being a business owner requires creativity. Financial management, both in your business, knowing your ones and twos, all your numbers, but then also being able to help a client financially manage their wedding. And then finally, problem solving and flexibility. You need to think on your feet. You need to be prepared for problems. You can't let problems get in your way or slow you down or have you like a deer in headlights, frozen in time. No. You need to be problem solving and flexible. I would love to hear from you below what you think are some must-have skills that every wedding planner needs. Please tell me in the comments below. I've linked to the Planner's Playbook in case you want to check it out and join us. It's my community for wedding planners. And my friend, I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you can see my videos in your home feed every time they're uploaded on Thursdays. Better yet, hit the notifications bell and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know you watched it, you liked it. Maybe I should record more videos like it. All right, friend, I've linked to a video here that I think you should check out, and I'll see you in the next video.